Hi, my name's Patricia Lee, and I published a book of poetry last year in 2020 during COVID times. It's called How to Smoke the Soul, Poetry for the Heart and Mind. I'd like to read you some of those poems because I collected them together. It was at a time where the future was uncertain, where I thought if I died, I didn't have a collection of my poetry. I just had some poems published in anthologies, and I won a few prizes, but nobody had seen the full body of and scope of what I've been able to do over the years. So I put this book of my poetry, my paintings, my photographs, and drawings together to help people heal hearts and stimulate minds. The first one is called Know When. Know when. Walk with a light step. Inhale deeply the calmer air of contemplation. Before each word, breathe and think. Your words will rebound in the minds of others and come back to you with a thud. Did I say that? Did I do that? Let your movements be slow and relaxed. Listen to the cry of your child and answer it with compassion. You were once as unsure and needing. Make space for your soul to know the quiet ticking of the earth. Curl up in the leaves of a forest and let your skin listen. Cultivate green things, but not too many, for silent as they are, they have a judgment to pass on. Watch birds dart, hover, peck, scratch. Intent, they also know when to rest. Seek truth, not in flattery like the media's lens lickers, but in something slowly done and beautiful only to yourself. Dissatisfaction is the world's great motivator. Without it, we'd be content to stay in caves and eat our meat raw. Study yourself, for only you know what lies under that anger or sadness. What ghost of the past has stolen your peace? What unthinking habits have hidden your joy? The next poem is called Fiji. It was written in 2002 after a trip there, which I went on with my daughter. Long, long leaning trunks, rose-edged, flamingo necks curve out towards the lagoon. Chips of coral, white sand, nothing moving in the heat until one by one shell homes totter. Old propeller rusts just under the sand, and bluer than pencils are starfish at the ocean's feet. Clouds flower on the horizon, a hinged silver mirror. The rain is warm. Here, the rain is chilled. Under a bruised sky, pale yellow fields, people's smiles are clipped. In Fiji, everyone is your brother, son, father is your sister. This poem is called Red in Green, and it was written in 2003. In a wide open field under a pale blue sky, a single red tulip grows. Long, languid green leaves, solid, round stem, topped by a liquid licked cup of vermilion rinsed red. One bright dab among all that tufted green. A forgotten bulb dropped by a gardener. No, a heron or an eagle on a journey north in search of warmth. It grows alone and pert, unrestrained in vitality, by its lack of kin or crowding botanic enemies. A red tulip, true to its kind in leaf and line, in cupped clarity, in winey hue of blood, unafraid to be itself. Popular philosophy. Eat less, exercise more, become informed, slow down, take time, Absorb nature. Recycle. Walk, don't ride. 2003. Unpopular philosophy. Eat less artificially coloured, media hyped, overpackaged, too fatty food. Exercise your ability to question the reasons behind everything you read. Become spiritually informed. Slow down on the road. Take time to understand the individual needs of everyone in your family. Absorb nature and stay quiet about it. Recycle all the paper which passes through your hands. The next poem is the title poem. It's based on a ritual that we have on our farm in winter. For the winter solstice, we often have a bonfire and we pile on all the things we don't want: branches, furniture, rubbish, and we burn it all together, and it has quite an effect. I tried to capture that in this poem. How to Smoke the Soul. My clothes smell of the deep richness of barbecue. Smoke-soaked and skin grimy with soot, we fed the bonfire with unlimited strength, enthusiasm for its warming, and rapid consumption of dread and fear and all the feelings we wanted to burn and absolve into ash. Looking into a fire is a meditation, a time travel to when food and heat were more important than anything else. If you lived in a cold house, you'd know. 2004. There's another poem from 2004 called Driftless, and it's a prose poem. You realise how it sounds different to some of the other poems I've written. Repelled by selfish motives, the selfless one is justified to declare they themselves act from what is honourable. Their value system kicks in and protects them from the driftless ride on the tide. But what do we really control? Our own emotions, our anger, our tears, our resentments, our indignation? We only control our reasons. Our emotions usually control us and seep into the unguarded moment when we're reeling in the breakers and sea foam is invading our airspaces. We're best when we're beached and the sand beneath us is stable, and the greatest philosophers can conquer their stuttering, competing with the wave's roar, not the wave's strength. Sometimes the sea creases itself into folds of knockout force and the best of us drown, thus almost annihilated. Some haul themselves dripping brine and turtle crawl up the beach and pant like flapping fish in the air and see with saltbox eyes others struggling in the deluge and know that honour attaches to being beached. And out there in the maelstrom, it's everyone for themselves. Values are not buoys, and honour is not a life raft. Even a saint will sink beneath the waves. We know this and love them for it. Next poem is called For Ern Malley. And if you are a student of Australian literature, you would know who Ern Malley was. And I challenge you to find out who Ern Malley was, and the notes at the back of the book explain who he was. And here is the poem. It's a little bit different to the others. Midnight is the purgatory of the soul, crackling movements and moans shoveling in on itself. The weeded hours treasure fears of unrequited enthusiasm. The notch-stick of tasks promised amid a landscape of leisure, restocking the larder for a year's famine, notwithstanding the compulsion to project each year's end as each day's end, as life's end in itself. Take the stick and break it. If not to the blood's passion, the dancing muse of the lips, Remember the stone above your head, how it will lie each year the same monotony of red lichen. The dead invent themselves. Their measured freedom mocks our self-satisfaction. Drunk on reputation, we, still living, ignore the absolute concentration of eternity on anonymity. Threads of life run parallel, crisscross on points of emotion, dewdrops frozen on a leaf. All that is beautiful is dead, now or in the future. Art is not the wind that blows dust away. Art is the rain that makes it. 2005.